I would act. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I could be a heavyweight in the UFC. I could literally make the heavyweight division. Big meaty hooks. Big meaty hooks. I'm throwing big meaty hooks, so damn night. Throwing big meaty hooks. Big meaty hooks. Big meaty hooks. I'm throwing big meaty hooks, so damn night. Throwing big meaty hooks. The biggest, meatiest hooks. The crazy Hawaiian would actually do really well. The crazy Hawaiian would do really well. I'm not going to lie. The crazy Hawaiian, I've said this before, power slap champion, puts a respect on his name, of course. But the crazy Hawaiian, in my opinion, would probably get ranked in the UFC. I'm not even joking. I could see him having a very Mark Hunt type of career. I think he beats Parker Porter. I'm not even joking. The crazy... I'm not even joking. The crazy Hawaiian would literally beat some heavyweights. All he has to do is learn a little bit of takedown defense. He knocks people out, I guarantee it. The only argument against that is the grappling, but I mean, what? These horrible heavyweights already have no grappling and no skills, and they make it to the UFC anyway. You don't think the crazy Hawaiian, with his naturally gifted power, you don't think he could learn a little bit of takedown defense? Of course he could. Being a professional heavyweight MMA fighter is one of the easiest professional athletic jobs you can get. I'm not even kidding. It's real tough to become a professional MMA fighter in the UFC at like 155 pounds. Still doable. You're not necessarily going to make the rankings, but it is doable. Heavyweight? Oh my goodness, man. You have the build. I mean, you don't even need to be genetically gifted. You just have to be fat, train a little bit. You'll make it to the UFC as long as you have an okay chin. But the thing is, you'll never be champ. It's hard. It is hard to be a champ at the highest level in any division, because eventually you'll have to fight someone like Aspinall or Gon, someone that's actually good. All jokes aside, Guru, if he actually consistently trained, could probably make it. Yeah. Like, if he consistently trained for 2 years, he'd be in the UFC. And honestly, he'd probably be there before, because just by watching the sport and like, I don't know, some of these heavyweights are just atrocious. It's kind of crazy how they even make it to the UFC. And they don't even have any power. Some of these guys are just fat. I mean, there are some heavyweights that have fought on the Contender Series that are actually just obese. Like, they're not athletic, they're obese, and I don't understand how they even get there. You at heavyweight versus an average fat heavyweight? Me at heavyweight would be like some of the guys you've seen on the Contender Series. Me at heavyweight would be like, you know, your typical out-of-shape fat heavyweight. So essentially, I have a decent chance to beat them. I probably have a better chance to beat some of these guys because I actually have a good fight IQ and I would have decent skill. I would I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I could be a heavyweight in the UFC. I could literally make the heavyweight division. I swear to God. Dude, at 16, I was like 206 pounds. At 16, I was 206. If I could get to 206 at 16, I could get to like 220 or 225 at my age right now. I swear to God, I could literally be a UFC heavyweight. With my skill, I might actually do it. I literally might bloat max. I might literally just bloat max to fight the biggest bums in the heavyweight division, and I might just beat all of them. I'm not even, holy shit. I just realized, like, I could make it to the UFC. That's insane. That is insane. The fact that I can make it to the UFC through the heavyweight division because of how shit it is. Chris Barnett is a good fighter. Chris Barnett is actually better than a bunch of heavyweights, but holy fuck. My skill, my speed, just bloat maxing, I'd be like DC at a low level. I'd literally be like DC, but the difference is DC is naturally like a big dude in general, but he's a champ. So and he's actually dedicated, right? Imagine DC was like, imagine DC wasn't dedicated. He'd still be like a 10. He'd be like the number 9 ranked guy if he wasn't dedicated, but he was champ. Now imagine me who is like, you know, DC stature, but not naturally a heavyweight size. I could at least make it. I could make it to the UFC. Holy fuck, that's crazy. That's how bad heavyweight division is. I actually could. Like, it's crazy, dude. All I have to do is this is what I would do. All I have to do is eat 5 meals a day, go back on the diet that I was doing when I was 16, which is like, typical meal, ground beef and mac and cheese, frozen pizza, steak and rice, toast and butter and eggs, sandwiches for lunch with cookies. All I have to do is eat 5 tasty I would have Chipotle all the time. All I have to do is eat 5 tasty meals a day, big, heavy meals, and just lift tons of weights, get big, and just hit pads on the side, go to the gym, spar, do a little 4 days a week MMA training, I'll make it to the UFC. Get literally 3 years. 3 years of bloat maxing, lifting, I'll literally make it to the UFC. I'm not even kidding. I'm literally not even joking. In the heavyweight division. Not light heavyweight, but heavyweight. The funniest thing is it would be easier for me to be a UFC heavyweight than it would for me to be a UFC lightweight. Because at lightweight, you actually have to be good to make it to the UFC. All I have to do is train and have like a lighter man's start. It's like a reverse Volkanovski. Volkanovski was like had a strength advantage because he was coming down. I'm gonna have the skill advantage because I'm moving up. You might say that's false. Oh, you're short? Yeah, you can be a heavyweight and be short. Fucking Daniel Cormier was a champ. Literal fucking champ. I'm not saying I'd be champ. I'm saying I could make it to the UFC as a heavyweight. I literally could, dude. If you are a bot, dude, the easiest way to become a UFC fighter at heavyweight is just start lifting and bloat max while you lift and just pick up MMA on the side. You'll make it to the UFC. All flatline dudes. Knock, dude. You're not DC. You could keep spamming it. I know. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't make it to the championship level or the rankings ever. I wouldn't make it past a Jamal Pogues probably, but I would make it. Okay, I would make it. All right. There was one extremely fat heavyweight that fought in the Contender Series that actually he lost, but still, I would beat him. I would beat him. You would beat Dawkins? Dude, you guys realize Chris Dawkins as a featherweight made it to the UFC. Maybe, okay, I'm exaggerating when I say featherweight. Chris Dawkins could literally make it to the lightweight division if he cleaned up his diet and actually took his career seriously. He could literally be a lightweight. He'd be a big lightweight. Welterweight, he would fit right in at welterweight. Middleweight, Chris Dawkins, no. Chris Dawkins at middleweight is too small. He's too small for middleweight. I'm not even joking. I'm literally not even joking. I know the body types way better than most people. Like I have a very good idea at where someone will be lean based on their current look. And Chris Dawkins' look, he's not going to be shredded until he's in the 170-pound weight class. Sorry. I'm not even joking. Like people don't understand how actually reasonable it is. If you lift and bloat max, you can be a UFC heavyweight, no matter how small you are. You can be like, if you are a natural dude, there are literally featherweights and lightweights competing in the heavyweight division today. Look up Chandler Cole. Look up Chandler Cole and tell me that this dude would not make it into the fucking, or tell me that I couldn't make it to the UFC. You're telling me Chandler Cole can fight on the Contender Series, but I wouldn't make it to the UFC? Stop. Chandler Cole would be Chandler Cole, how tall is he? He's 5'10". Chandler Cole is literally a bantamweight. No, I don't know. I don't care if he's big boned. This dude literally has like 100 pounds of fat on him. How heavy is he? 261? So in order for him to be lean, he'd be like 160 and then he would go on a weight cut. He'd fight in the 145-pound weight class. He'd literally be a featherweight. I would be better than Chandler Cole. Damn. I could make it to the UFC at the heavyweight division. That's nuts. LeBron could be a ranked heavyweight too. 1 year of training, LeBron is a ranked heavyweight. I agree. Top 10. Doesn't become champ, but top 10. If y'all could all do it, do it. Yeah, but you don't understand, Omar. Like, not everyone wants to be a fighter. Not everyone wants to be a fighter. It's not just like, oh, I could do it, so therefore I will. We could do a lot of things for a job that we won't end up doing because we just don't want to do it. Y'all couldn't win an amateur fight where people look trash? Sure. I think you overestimate how good people actually are, Omar. You overestimate how good people actually are. Like Omar, you do realize heavyweights are the worst you could possibly imagine. Like, listen. When I say heavyweight, it would be harder for me to be a UFC. I would have to dedicate my life to get into the UFC and take it serious to make it as a featherweight or a lightweight. I would have to dedicate like 5 years minimum to even have an opportunity to get on the Contender Series, right? Heavyweight? Oh my goodness, it's way easier, even for someone like me. I've considered fighting at heavyweight because they do suck. There you go. But y'all suck worse. I actually have training experience and I have a good amount of muscle, and all I need to do is bloat max, lift a ton of weights. All I know is this. All I know is this. I've been 206 pounds. Imagine, because now I'm a lot muscle wise. I have way more muscle than I had when I was 206. I've just put a lot of muscle on just because I'm not the same weight, because I was relatively new to lifting. I could get to 225. I would bloat max 100%. I could get to 225. If I could get to 225, I could probably fight at heavyweight. I could probably beat a bunch of fat heavyweights because I'd have the lighter man speed, the lighter man skill set. That's all I'm saying. How much do you bench? Not a lot right now. I mean, in my heyday, in my prime, I was putting up 225 for a couple good ones. I was banging out 225 for sets of 2. No, I'm joking. I was doing 275 for sets of 5. All right, not sets, not repeated sets. I was never a big bencher. I was always a big squat guy. That was my best exercise, the squat. I didn't deadlift. I did the barbell row. My big 3 was the squat, the barbell row, and the dumbbell press. The bench, I did bench too, but I was never a good bencher. I just don't have a really wide structure. I don't have a wide clavicles. And so that's kind of like necessary if you want to have a big bench. But for squat, that was always my best exercise. And I was able to do 315 for 15 reps. And I wasn't even to ultimate failure. I could have done 405 for multiple reps. I never tried it. But if you can do 315 for 15, you could do 405 for a few. 100%. Front squat, I think I was doing 305 for some good solid reps, which is pretty good. But like the thing is, who would want to dedicate a portion of their life to being a shitty heavyweight in a division that's not even theirs, where they're never actually going to get far? That's really what it's about. Like, who would want that? And then it's, well, if you actually want to get far, you should fight in a division that's similar to your actual natural weight. And it's a lot harder. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun, but is it really though? I mean, it's just going to waste time. It is fun, but it would waste time because you're not going to get far. It's just to prove a point. And also you have to bloat. Like for me, I would have to bloat max. If you're decent, you don't take a lot of damage. True. That is true. Also, like the whole bloat maxing thing, it actually takes work to eat 5-6 meals a day. That actually is kind of rough. Doing it consistently, I don't really know if I want to do that. And then I basically have to just dedicate my whole life to training. Lifting would be huge. I can't become a heavyweight unless I get really big, put on a lot of muscle too. You'd cut years off of your life with that strategy? Yeah, I would be really unhealthy bloat maxing. That's another thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.